In the beginning of times, darkness was everywhere and chaos ruled. The universe was like a big black egg. After 18,000 years of sleep, the first creature of times was born from the egg. His name was Pangu. When he finally woke up from his sleep, he felt trapped inside the egg. So he broke the shell, causing the top to become the yin and the bottom the yang. Pangu was pleased, but did not want yin and yang to get together again, and chaos to return. So he held both of them for another 18,000 years. Pangu grew 3 meters a day and became a giant, and his body was used to hold yin and yang, which became the sky and the earth when Pangu was 45 kilometers tall. Pangu died, allowing his body to become the elements of the earth. His breath became the wind and the clouds. His eyes became the sun and the moon. His hair became the galaxies. His veins became the rivers. And his flesh became the soil and trees started to grow. And finally, the parasites of his body turned into human beings.
Adam and Eve, the first humans on Earth. A very long time ago, in the Garden of Eden, every species was paired, except for Adam, who was totally alone. That's why God decided to create the first woman, Eve. Both lovers lived peacefully in the garden, but they weren't able to eat the apples of the prohibited tree. Influenced by the serpent, Eve ate one apple of the tree, and as a punishment, she was exiled with Adam from Eden, creating the first original sin. As a consequence of that sin, we are not allowed to return to the Eden, and nowadays we live with poverty, ignorance, and we are destined to die. As for the snake, now she has to crawl for the rest of her life.
At the beginning, the world was only darkness. Creation began when Ometecuhtli and Omexuatl, the dual god, created itself, representing both good and bad, chaos and order, male and female. The god gave birth to 4 children. They created the universe. But in order to complete the world, the gods had to find a source of energy. Tezcatlipoca sacrificed himself to be the first son. Yet, due to a fight with Quetzalcoatl, Tezcatlipoca sent jaguars to destroy the giants and mark the end of the first son. Then Quetzalcoatl became the second son, and humans were created. Then again, Tezcatlipoca transformed them into monkeys, and Quetzalcoatl sent hurricanes to blow the monkeys away. Afterward, Tlaloc became the third son. However, Tezcatlipoca stole Tlaloc's wife, and in an act of revenge, Tlaloc refused to send rain, and then he made it rain fire. Next, Tlaloc's sister, Caxihuatlicue, became the fourth son. But Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca were jealous and struck down the sun. At the end, the gods gathered to decide who would sacrifice to begin the new world. Nanahuatzin leaped into the flames and became the new sun. Tecuitztecatl jumped after him and became another sun. But the gods threw a rabbit at him, and he became the moon.
Okay, now let's analyze the myths. First of all, what is behind the myth and what necessity is it fulfilling? They are representations of how humanity was created after a period of chaos. They give humanity a purpose and a sense of living. They explain why we are here and where we come from. Every culture has made their own creation myths according to their beliefs, and each of them involves different values. Now, how are they concatenated with other myths? They seem to be responsible for creating the world we live on. Some are seen as heroes while others aren't. Each myth has its own perspective, but they lead to the same ending. What are the characteristics of the main characters? Pangu was a brave, strong, and powerful Chinese hero. Tezcatlipoca was dark, evil, and destructive. Quetzalcoatl was wise and creative, and Tlaloc was a fertility giver. Eve is curious, naive, and innocent, while the snake is evil, convincing, and a liar. What's the problematic? What conducts do they assume? What is the cause for them of not acting on? The problematic in the Chinese creating myth is that chaos ruled and there wasn't hope. Pangu assumed the responsibility of maintaining order in the world. If he failed or gave up, chaos would have remained. In the fifth son, the problematic is finding a source of energy or a brave man that can sacrifice for humanity. Every time a god ends a cycle, everything is destroyed and a new era begins. In Genesis, the problematic is a prohibition and temptation. The snake is evil and Eve follows its advice, blinded by temptation, while Adam and humanity are the ones who suffer collateral damages. How has the myth changed, and has it been adapted? They remain the same, though it's possible that small changes have been made because they have been passed through generations. The representations of it may have been adapted according to the values and beliefs of each time.